Welcome back, everybody, to the Sky Factory. Last time we left off, we built our little sweet-ass alloy smelter here, and our generator here to power it. I went ahead, got this stuff ready for making the smeltery. That's what we're going to work on today. Also did just a little housekeeping, reorganized my farm here a little bit. I also realized that I'd done this part wrong again. Basically, I had 5. The water was here instead of here, so it wasn't reaching this last edge. So we got that straightened out, reorganized the plants, took out a bunch of that rice like we were talking about, put the canola over here, and we got wheat on this side, working doing that. I also went ahead and just cleared out this mob farm a little bit just to keep things running smooth. I just went through and took out all the junk, all the bows and stuff that the skeletons drop, fill this thing up. Of course, they don't stack, so that makes a mess. These loot bags too, we'll have to do something with those pretty soon. Set up some kind of storage system for that. Before we get into any of that, we want to get this smeltery going. So first we can go ahead and craft up this stuff. Boom. That should be plenty. So let's go ahead, just throw a bunch of this stuff, make sure we're in furnace mode. Throw that stuff in there, get it cooking. And I'm also going to take one of these conduits here, and I guess for right now we'll just pop that on there, make up a chest real quick, find some wood. Let's go ahead and make a chest to catch the stuff coming out of here. Pop that on here. I may have to, I don't know if I can reach the settings. I might have to move this up one until we can get below here. Let's just pick this up. Come on. There we go. We'll just put this up one block higher just so we can get underneath of it to the little control panel thing. Set this up to extract, always active. You can set this thing up with a redstone signal, whether it's a switch or like a button or a lever or some way to apply a redstone signal. And you can set it up in several modes, with or without signal, never active, always active. We're all pretty much always going to want this thing to dump its contents, because although it does hold 3 stacks on the input, the output's only one stack, so we want that to, we don't want to have to keep coming back and emptying that. We'll put this on insert, make sure that's extract always, and as you can see, it's pulling those out as it's making them and throwing them in this chest here. With these Ender IO machines, you can also do it without pipes. I guess I could have done it that way too. You go, all the Ender machines have this configure IO, and it gives you a 360 view of the machine. It's centered on whichever machine you're looking at, and you can set every side, all 4 sides, and top and bottom. And you can set them for, you just right click here, you can have them push pull or push and pull simultaneously, or turn them off completely. The colors coincide with, you can see the inputs there. It's on pull, so it's going to pull, if there was something like a chest on top or a pipe or whatever, it would pull whatever's in that chest into the input. Push obviously would do the opposite with the output and push it to an inventory. Or push pull is going to do both operations from one inventory. We're just going to go ahead and leave that off. It's working the way it is now. I could have just put the chest here and set the machine to push out. This works too. Let those start cooking up. We're going to need a bunch of them. In the meantime, let's figure out a place to put this bad boy. Was thinking I might go ahead and kill 2 birds with 1 stone and get a second level going. That's one of our achievements. I think just go ahead and pop this piece of fence here out. The water's going to start rolling off the edge. Excuse me. And I want to go ahead. Man, these things are full. Yeah, you can see some of the stuff I kept from the mob farm when I was trying to clean it up some. I guess I'm going to have to just go ahead and make another chest real quick. That's not right. Do some of this. And we'll just pop this somewhere. It doesn't really matter. Maybe. Why is that not working? Strange. I guess, yeah, that's a vanilla thing if I remember. You can put 2 side by side and it makes them double wide, but you can't do 3. I thought you could have them just side by side, but I guess not. Oh well, just throw it there. I just want to get some of this important stuff out of my inventory, just in case I happen to screw this part up and fall and lose all my stuff. I don't want to lose anything too important. Keep the torches. Do I have any more? Guess not. Oh well, make some more of those too. So when we build this platform down here, we can light it up a little bit. Sticks. That's more than we need, but that's alright. And I'm going to grab some of this for building material. So this part can get a little interesting. Basically what we're going to do is just ride this water. As long as you stay in the water itself, you can swim back up. And if you kind of get right to the edge like that, you can breathe. You're not losing your breath while you're in the water here. We just kind of float around. Another thing to note is if you don't want to put the water here, or the block, if you put it there, it's going to extend the waterfall and make a big mess and throw you all around. So basically what we want to do is just pop a couple blocks down. Let's go, that's 5. Let's go a few more. Let's go 8. And we just build a little something to stand on here and build out around. Give ourselves something to stand on while we are working here so we don't fall off. There's a couple ways people can usually go about this. You can wall it off and make a little pool down here, or I just like to wrap around the water. So it's going to let us get back up until we can build some ladders or something, elevator blocks maybe. Just want to build this out just a little bit. Just 2 all the way around. Let's go 1 more just for comfort. Can get a little fishy. You're bobbing around in that water. Sometimes the controls can get a little janky on you. We'll build these around. Go ahead and turn our light levels on so we can see what we're spawning or not spawning. Alright, that's good for now. And hop back in our waterfall. And get back up here to the top. Now that we've got a little bit of room to work, grab this guy, maybe that, just in case we need to pick up some mistake blocks if we make them. And we'll go back down. Safe and sound. Just kind of build this out. Make ourselves a little platform here. I'm gonna put our smeltery down here for now. Might move it later. Probably won't be using it for too long. It's a good way to double your ores, like I was saying before, which obviously is kind of important right now because it's still a pretty slow process. Once we get into some better options for gathering our metals and stuff like that, the smeltery won't be so important. Still need it for some things, but it won't be our main source for materials for too long. Let's go ahead and light this up. So we're kind of right underneath. Our machines and stuff are right there. Let's go see what it looks like up top. I think what I'm going to do, I don't usually make them when I'm like casual playing, but for the sake of education, we'll see about making some elevators. Elevator. So it's just wool and an ender pearl. You need two. They stack on the same grid space. So if I put one here, I'd have to have one directly above or below it somewhere to elevate two. I think it has like it might be a 16 block, like one full chunk limit. So basically, if you want to go more or less than that, you would have to do multiple blocks. So we need to make some wool. If I remember, that's just string. Yeah. So we need 8 per block. 16 ought to do it, right? Do this. Grab a couple ender pearls. Pop those in. Boom, elevator. Sweet. I think that tree just grew up behind me and blocked me in. Jerk. And I want to kind of have this close to our kind of our little processing station we've got going here. Grab my axe thing. We'll just pop a hole right here. That should be okay. Put that in. Go back down and line this up. And it looks like that should be the block we need. Break that out. Put this here. And I think you just kind of stand on it and press the jump. And there we go. And to go down, you just crouch. Whoop. Sweet. Elevator action. Now that that's done, we can, did we lose our fence post? Sorry, we've got more. Go ahead and just put this back on, just to keep that water contained. We don't need it anymore for now. Hop back down here. Clean this up. Can't reach. And we'll just break these up. Good. Fill in this hole so we don't fall down. Whoop. Fill in that hole so we don't fall down. Clean all this up. Let's go check on our grout situation. still going. Let's go ahead and grab some more. Fill that thing up. Now, to make the most basic smeltery, you don't need this much. I just went ahead and did it just to make a decent sized smeltery. The bigger you make it, the more molten stuff it can hold. Looks like we got some canola over there. Sweet. Don't really know why. I accidentally made the mistake of eating some of it raw. It might have been just the seeds. Got super sick. Everything was going all woo woo woo. I actually had to kind of just stop and not watch the screen. It was making me a little woozy. Alright, let's grab some of these. Get started on building some of this tinker stuff. Pull up the smeltery. I'm also going to need some glass. Throw this in here. So what we're going to need, this thing is the brain, the controller. Get one of those. We're going to need a piece of glass for that. We're going to need the seared tank. This is what holds our fuel, which is going to be lava. There used to be other stuff you could put in. I think they've changed the Tinker's mod since they've kind of taken that out. It used to be different liquids had different heat ratings. You can only melt certain things if it had the appropriate, or at least minimum, heat output. But I think they've changed that. In any case, we're going to need one. Controller, seared tank. We're really not sure what that's for. I don't think I've ever used it. The windows are basically you can use in place of the just the regular seared bricks, which is going to be the main structure. You can use the windows if you want to actually be able to see inside there. It's kind of neat. Don't really need it. We're also going to want to make a couple of these. These casting tables are useful for making ingots or parts for our tinker's tools. And also a couple basins. Just do 2 for now. And what these guys will do is you can make full blocks of metal. So you're basically doing 9 ingots at a time. It takes a little while for the stuff to cool down and actually turn into a usable material, so making the blocks makes it a little less pain in the butt. We're also going to need drains for each of our outputs. So let's, whoops. For the stuff that we have just for now, we might expand this, maybe not. We'll see how it goes. We'll start with 4 drains. And then for each drain, you need one of these, the faucets. And I think that's all the kind of specialty parts that we need. Got those, got that, seared gauge, window, controller. And the rest of it is just the actual structure. You can use any of these. They all take different kind of recipes. Some of them they're basically just cosmetics. But we're just going to stick with the regular seared bricks, which is just a square of 4, turns into bricks. Oh, I'm out of juice. That'll explain that. So I was thinking we were going to have to use coal, but actually I knew before and I kind of just forgot. Where's my bucket? Let me grab my bucket. Basically, I forgot that you can use lava to power this thing too. Just take I think, unless they've changed, maybe they changed that too. Always on, speed upgrade. So yeah, you can put like a lever or something on here and turn this on or off if you need to. We just pretty much want it running as long as, basically the way it works is it'll fill up its internal buffer, and then it'll power anything that's connected to it. In this case, we're just touching it, so it's going to directly transfer power. If you wanted to power something farther away, you could use some kind of power conduit. Here's my coal. I know I was making some coal before, wasn't I? There's a little bit. Chunk that in there. But yeah, basically, if this thing fills up its internal buffer, and then any other machines it's connected to, it'll attempt to fill its buffer as well. And once everything tops up, it'll stop running. Anyway, so we're not too worried about that. We won't be using this for too crazy long anyhow. Let's see what else kind of charcoal I've got. Let's go ahead and just throw this in here as much as it'll take. Put that back. And we're gonna have to let this run for a little while. We're gonna need a decent amount of these bricks. I probably don't even have enough to really get the minimum of what we need. Yeah, that's not gonna cut it. Anyway, we'll keep that lava bucket because once we get this thing in a working condition, that's how we're gonna power the smeltery also. In the meantime, what can we do? Let's grab our book. Just take a look at that thing real quick. Done this. We're working on that. We'll need the thing for the smeltery for that. Field of grass. Guess we can kind of work on that a little bit while we're waiting. I was thinking maybe just kind of out next to the mob farm somewhere. We'll have a little passive mob area. In order to do that, we're going to need some more dirt, though. It didn't say how big it needed to be. Just 25 blocks away and a field of grass. 7 dirt. Yeah, that's not going to be enough. Okay, so here's what we can do with this. Use up some of these pipes. We can kind of automate this a little bit so that we don't have to manually do the dirty. Take these off. I don't think I need the whole setup. Just do one side. Make a couple more chests. Some more wood. It's not enough. Not enough. Two chests. We'll put, oh, that's not a chest. Just put one here. You could put it anywhere on this chain. I guess we can just put it right here. Theoretically, you could do this all from one chest, but it just kind of is a pain. So basically what you can do is set the channels and the signal colors. So if I was to set this to brown on extract, it's going to pull out of here on a brown channel through these pipes, and then we could set it to, you can see the little arrow there turns brown, showing that that's the brown channel. The brown channel. Then we could set this to insert brown, and then if we put something that'll actually these barrels will accept, it should start pulling it. Gotta set it to active, and there you go. And then theoretically what you can do is come to these guys, set them to in and out, and then on a different channel set it to pull the dirt out back into this chest. But it never seems to work that way for me. So I'm just going to use 2 chests. I'm going to use one for input, one for output. We'll use this to extract on the green channel. I guess we should probably turn those around. Right? We want the green stuff to come out of this. And the brown, the dirty brown, will set to be outputted to this chest. Insert brown, not extract. We don't need extract. We want to pull out into here. So basically we want the insert to be green for all of these. And click this guy to go to the extract channel or menu. We want to pull the green. No. Brown. I'm going to pull the brown. So there you go. It pops out the dirt into this chest. That was in there because I had my setup wrong. So then what we do is just go through and set each one of these to this setup here. So we want to extract brown, always active, and insert green, and then set it to in and out. So that the channels remember what they were. So if you had this to extract only and decided you wanted to in and out, push and pull, it keeps those settings. So we want to extract brown always. Did I set that to always? Yeah. Oh, it's not done. That's why. Insert green. Extract brown always. That should be filling up. We're going to need some more stuff to put in here, but let's go ahead and just get these set up. Extract brown always. Insert green. In and out. Brown always. In and out. So on and so forth. Extract brown, in and out. So then you can just kind of look at your arrows. So it's extracting brown, insert green. Brown up, green down. So this all look like they're set up pretty good. And I wonder if these go in there. Doesn't appear so. Oh well, oh, there we go. Put that back in there. We'll throw this stack of saplings in here. I actually was thinking about, do I have a hammer? I've got a compressed hammer. I got a diamond one over here, right? Where's my diamond hammer? I know I made one. I don't think I used it like completely to breaking point. I didn't leave it in this chest over here, did I? This thing's stacking up again. No. That's a shame. Anyway, this stone one will work. So I think what you can do, besides the leaves, I think you can take and smash planks? No, I think I tried that before. It might be the logs. Smash these logs with the hammer. Yeah, see, then they turn into this wood chipping, which you can also use as another source for compost. I think it's probably a little more expensive than the leaves, unless you just get super lucky and get a bunch of mega trees. We'll just make a couple shears here. Break these leaves down and throw them over here in our little newly automated dirt farm. Get us some dirt going. Just throw this stuff in here. Bish bash bosh. break this stuff down, get some new trees going. Yeah, I mean, if the wood chippings, if you were to set up like an automated kind of like a tree farm where it was kind of just running all the time, you had a decent supply of wood. That might be a valid option, but I feel like the leaves are probably just the best way to go early game. And of course, again, once we get into the magic crops, we can just grow dirt at will, and we'll have potentially more than we could ever want or need. Just fill this whole sky block up with dirt. So that's going. Just throw that in there. Whoops. I don't want my book in there either. Let's throw that away. Grab this. We should be good now to make at least get our smeltery going to where it's in a working condition. Just gonna make bricks out of all this stuff. That should be plenty. Let's go ahead and clean this inventory up a little bit. Some of the stuff we don't need out of here. Don't need those anymore. Throw the grout in here. Still doing kind of okay on coal. Just fill that back up. Just so the operation doesn't come to a standstill. Oh, I had some shears. Oh well. Logs can go in. Let's just find a place to put that so we don't have it hanging out. Am I out of food? Looks like it. I might have enough over here to make a little snack. One piece of bread. That's all we get today. We're on rations. Let's get the block out of here. Make something to chomp on for a little bit of hunger relief. We'll pop down here. I think I want to put this thing. I kind of want to put it somewhere where I have room to expand up. But again, it's not really something we're going to need for a super long time. So I think what we'll do to maximize our little space here. Basically, you need a minimum of a 3x3 internal, interior space for the multi-block to form. But you can make it bigger. I don't know what the maximum area is, but you can make it bigger than the 3x3. I want to leave some room around the outside just to have room to get around the back of this thing. Because you can set up the outputs on all sides. I think this, basically what we're going to have is, let's do a 4. Use this for our footprint. And then we need to case this thing. So we can just kind of wrap around. Like so. Go ahead and get some torches down just because it's starting to get dark. We can pop these corners off. You don't need these corner pieces. It's just a waste of materials. Pop these dudes off. And then to actually complete the multi-block, the only things you really must have other than the minimum 3x3 footprint and then casing all the way around is the controller and the sear tank. Controller, it just has to be on the side somewhere. It can't be on one of these, like, it doesn't count these spaces as part of the structure, so it can't be in one of those areas. So as long as it's in one of the sides that's like facing inside of the inner structure, this thing will start to glow. That tells you that the multi-block is complete. You can start throwing your ores in here, and you can take your fuel, just right click it into the tank. You can see it holds 4 buckets worth of fuel, which even just 1 bucket lasts a pretty long time. You can pipe directly into this thing if you want to make sure it never runs out from some kind of a lava source. But it's really not necessary, especially for us right now. Anyway, that's the basics of a smeltery. Once the rest of those blocks cook up, I'll just make it as tall as I can. So what that's going to do for us is, this is our interior. This is how many interior blocks that we have. Each one of these can melt down 1 ore piece, basically, or whatever other material you're trying to smelt into liquid. So for each level that we put on, we're going to double this capacity. And I think, okay, now I thought maybe I covered up my elevator. That would have been kind of stupid. So yeah, that's the smeltery done, or at least functioning to the point where we can go ahead and click that off. Shazam! We got our dirt working. Just kind of looks like it's out of material. 37. Might let that run for a little while more, just to get a little supply of dirt in case we need it for other things, which we will soon. So yeah, that's that. Smeltery get. That's awesome. We've got our little second layer here. That's another check off the old list. And I think that's good for today. We'll come back next time. We'll build up the smelter a little bit more, give us just a little more capacity, and we'll show everybody how it works, and show how the outputs and inputs and all that stuff, or the outputs. We kind of looked at the inputs. So yeah, hope everybody's having a great day, and we'll catch you next time. See you later.